bringing you the news and information you need from the people making a difference. This is Comcast Newsmakers.
What does an organization look like at 120 years old? From what I'm told, they look really, really good. Hello again, and thanks for joining us. I'm Carla Showell-Lee, and you're watching Comcast Newsmakers. In the studio with me this hour is Dr. Ellen Frankel. She's the CEO and editor-in-chief of the Jewish Publication Society, and today we're talking about their 120-year anniversary. Thanks so much for joining us today, Ellen.
Thanks for having me.
Nice to have you on the show. I know that the Jewish Publication Society you talk about is a rarity in the publishing world. What do you mean by that?
Well, we're a nonprofit, first of all, and there are not that many nonprofits. Most of the nonprofits actually are either university presses, which have a university helping them out. Some of them are associated with movements or with particular causes. We're a standalone, we're nonpartisan, we're multi-denominational within the Jewish community, and as I mentioned, we're nonprofit, so we depend on contributions to make up the difference between selling books and what we spend on making them.
Right, and I was surprised percentage-wise you say that you only make up about 2% of the population, Jews.
That's right.
Yeah, okay.
That's right. We happen to be prominent in certain fields that get a lot of notice in the arts, particularly in the movies, but also in writing and books. In fact, we're called the people of the book, which is what Mohammed called us, referring to the Bible, which is actually the JPS's bread and butter, the Bible.
Speaking of the Bible was the biggest challenge in terms of translation, I heard.
Right.
Yeah, is that true?
Yeah, we've done two full translations. In 1917, it was really taking the King James, which was a translation done by Christian scholars a long time ago, and adapting it a bit. And then in the middle of the 20th century, 1955, we did it again, but this time we went back to the Hebrew original, not through anybody else's translation, and it took 30 years until the Bible was completely translated by us, and it's called the JPS Tanakh, which is the Hebrew word, or the Jewish word for the Old Testament.
Got it. And you're doing a lot of things within the, I could say year, but it extends until 2009, where you're celebrating kind of 120 years of service.
Right. Our big event was in October, and that was our gala, in which we honored our 7 past presidents, all of whom are very prominent citizens of their communities, and we also honored the Fleischer family, who has given us service through members of its family for 120 years. One of the famous descendants of that family is Suzanne Fleischer Roberts. Suzanne Roberts is obviously a noted citizen of Philadelphia. So we celebrated all the achievements of 120 years, and 120 is significant in Jewish tradition. It's the age at which Moses died.
Yes, I heard. Right. What is it? There's a Jewish saying, may we live to be 120.
Right. When you want to say something to somebody, wishing them the best health ever, you say, may you live to 120.
I like that. Well, I like the fact that you connect a lot of faiths. You just don't keep it contained to Jewish people.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And lately we have been exploring interfaith publication. We just published a book called An Introduction to Islam for Jews, because Islam and Judaism have much more in common with each other even than Christianity. We also are working on a very ambitious project to provide supplementary materials to preachers and ministers and priests who have a book they use every week called a lectionary, and it has parts of the Old Testament, parts of the Tanakh in it, but there was a lot more that was written and discussed in Jewish tradition once Christianity began, and that's not known by a lot of people.
Right, and you talk about the fact that you're doing an online project bringing the Bible to another level.
Right, we're doing an interactive digital Bible. We're just at the beginning of it. We're creating a prototype which will be done, we hope, in about June of 2009, and it will give a chance not only for scholars to put their comments on the Bible, but we're inviting the entire community to comment, to discuss with each other, to tag, which means to put in their own keywords, and bring the Bible in touch with all of the information on the internet.
All right. Well, I said you look good at 120 years old. Thanks so much for joining us today, Dr. Frankel.
Thank you.
This hour's newsmaker, Dr. Ellen Frankel. She's the CEO and editor-in-chief of the Jewish Publication Society. I'm Carla Showell-Lee. Thanks for watching.